Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at a research paper with a pretty wild idea. It's proposing a way to connect ancient spiritual music, modern quantum physics, and even, get this, preventing natural disasters.
Could music stop an earthquake? I mean, that's the big, startling question at the very heart of this theory we're going to unpack. The author is suggesting that with the right kind of sound, the right kind of vibration, we could actually build up a defense against seismic waves. Yeah, it's a huge claim for sure. So let's see how they try to back it up. Okay, so the author builds this whole system on two main pillars. One comes from, this ancient spiritual tradition, and the other one is straight out of modern physics. And these two ideas, they're the foundation for absolutely everything else in this theory. So that first pillar, it's a specific kind of devotional music called kirtan. But here's the twist. According to this paper, it's not just music. It's actually a system. The idea is that the 35 letters of the Gurmukhi alphabet link up with 35 fundamental elements. So you've basically got an elemental code embedded right there in the sound itself. And the second pillar? That's cymatics. Now, this is the science of making sound visible. You've probably seen those cool videos online, right? Where sand or water on a plate starts forming these incredible geometric patterns when a certain sound frequency is played. Well, the author points to this as the physical bridge, the actual mechanism that lets this coded music interact with and shape the physical world. Now, what's really interesting is how the theory breaks the music down, almost like it's on a grid. You have SARGAM, which is like the horizontal axis, think wavelength and the rows of a song. And then you have GAMUT, which is the vertical axis. That's your frequency and the columns. It's a way of mapping the music. Okay, so you've got the music, you've got the elements, you've got the physics. How in the world does this all tie together? Well, the paper says it all comes down to one single, powerful master equation. And there it is, E equals O+iA. This is the code, the central formula that supposedly connects everything. And you're about to see just how much this one little equation is supposed to cover. So here's the really crucial part. This one formula is used like a master key for, everything. The author uses it to describe completely different things. In music, for example, it's supposed to explain the relationship between the rows and columns we just talked about. But then, and this is a huge leap, the paper claims that the very same formula also describes particle physics. We're talking photons, biophotons, and even something as complex as neutrino oscillation. It's this attempt to unify all these different worlds that's really at the core of the whole idea. And this quote really lays out the next big step in the theory. The paper suggests that because of this deep mathematical connection, this special music can actually talk to neutrinos. Those tiny little particles that are zipping through everything, you, me, the entire planet, all the time. The idea is that sound can directly influence them. All right, so we've gone from music to physics. Let's see how this all supposedly translates from an abstract theory into something you could actually build. This is where we get to the proposed method for preventing natural disasters. And this illustrates the theory in practice. The paper lays out a very specific 4-step setup. You place 4 musical instruments, a rabab, tabla, harmonium, and dilruba, in the corners of a room. Then you hang a chanchana, which is a kind of cymbal, right in the middle. Put a dome on the roof above it all, and the idea is that the combined sound gets focused, showering down and creating a vibration that could, in theory, heal the earth. And get this, the paper even suggests that the sound energy could get so focused, so intense, that the cymbal hanging in the middle might just start playing by itself. No one touching it, just pure resonant energy making it sing. Kind of wild, right? So all of these things, the music, the physics, the disaster prevention, they're all part of a bigger picture. The author presents them as pieces of a single unified philosophy, a whole worldview, which they call philsophology. And that's philsophology. It's the name for this whole grand, unified system. It's proposed as a new way of thinking, a framework that tries to integrate ancient wisdom with modern science, using that master equation and cymatics as the main tools to stitch it all together. Inside this philsophology framework,
The music is seen as having these different building blocks that affect us in different ways. The raga, or the musical mode, is said to connect with our glands. The tala, the rhythm, is linked to our organs. And then the melody? Well, that's what ties it all together, connecting those physical parts to our senses. And the author doesn't just present this as a new idea out of nowhere. They're very specific about placing it in a long historical line. It's all connected back to the invention of the Gurmukhi script over 500 years ago, and the paper even suggests creating a modern R&D university to continue this line of thinking. So, at the end of the day, what this paper is really asking is, what if? What if the boundaries we've drawn between music and physics and even our own consciousness, what if they aren't as solid as we think? It leaves you with this provocative thought that maybe the vibration of a song and the oscillation of a neutrino are just two different ways of saying the exact same thing.